Hey, everyone in. Let's go. Huddle up on 3. 1, 2, 3. Huddle up.
You all know what you have to do. Remember, no one, and I mean no one, comes into our house and pushes us around. This is your game now, gentlemen.
Chris Davis takes it to the back of the end zone. He'll run it out to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45. There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Auburn wins.
This could be a sentence that a month ago would sound incomprehensible. From 31 yards, McPherson, and Cincinnati is heading to the Super Bowl.
He called it again, I'm sure. He walked up and he goes, "Can you believe, Coach? We're going to the Super Bowl."
And now, welcome everyone to the Huddle Up Podcast.
You are looking live.
Hello, everyone. Welcome into the Huddle Up Podcast. It is Tuesday night, November the 8th, 2022. We are glad to be back with you here for another one. The full crew back here for a Tuesday night here in November as we continue our way through the football season. Make sure you are following us on all of our social media. That is at Huddle Up Podcast on Facebook and Twitter. We are also on TikTok as well at Huddle Up Podcast. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel, podcast, all podcast platforms, and get our merchandise over at tpublic.com. And make sure you support the show there. Let everybody know about it. We'll start with Ernest E.J. Christian. How you doing this week, my friend?
I'm doing well. Jim, how are you doing on this Tuesday?
I am doing good. Glad to have you back. Matt, fresh off the, the unfortunate result, but a World Series trip nonetheless last week. How you doing this week, my friend?
No complaints. I think I finally needed that break from all the Philly sports. It was nice to, like, this week to be
Look
able
at
to
this
just
entitled
unwind.
jamma. Oh, the sports.
So no complaints out of me. A solid season from everyone who made it to their championship season. Hell of a fight and hell of a season. Did better than the Mets.
That is true. We are glad to have you back. And student of the game, Kyle Nash. Kyle, did you know that today, I think it's National Kyle Appreciation Day? I'm not even kidding.
And you are so blessed to have Kyle.
We are so blessed to have Kyle. How you doing this week?
Listen, I would have loved to celebrate the day in question with you, Jim, but so many sports. Oh, Jesus. Sunday, I had to go to Jacksonville to watch the Jags beat the Raiders. Oh, my God. And the UCF debuted basketball last night. Oh, Jesus. Sports.
Yes, today, November the 8th is
where I found out Jim isn't going to have the opportunity to talk trash on Brian Kelly like he hoped to. More on that later.
That's okay. That's all right. But yes, today, November the 8th, is National Kyle Day. So celebrate all the Kyles that are in your life.
Well, Jim, I would have had more time to celebrate, but I got mugged. All merch.
Oh, there it is. There it is over at the tpublic.com. Devin, welcome in, buddy. Mike as well. How you doing to everyone watching along with us? Give us a like and share. We'd appreciate that. If you're following along on the live video, absolutely. Let's not waste any time, though, gentlemen. Let's jump right in. As we do each and every week here on the Huddle Up Podcast, we look at 3 observations each from the weekend that was. There's the good, there's the bad, there's the ugly. And Kyle, why don't you lead us off with the good? What was a good from this past weekend?
Well, Jim, notice I have to side to side in case you might try to take mine again.
That's why I let you start.
You were probably asking, is he going to pick somebody in a gold helmet? Well, do you feel lucky? No, I'm not that big an a-hole. Come on, Jim. As much as you hate Dabo, how would I do that to you? What I will do by being an a-hole is pointing out, hey, even though it ruins the SEC's chances to have 3 teams in one, how about Brian Kelly, guys? Huh?
Does it ruin?
Yes, it does.
I mean, are you sure? Because, well, yeah, no, I guess it would. Darn, we can only have 2 SEC teams.
Yeah, and hey, how about some of that good old-fashioned Southern twang and Brian Kelly? I know Matt loves that. My Irish fans are going nuts for Brian Kelly tonight. Woo!
Hey, man, good for him. He showed more balls in one play call in overtime against Alabama than he ever did as coach of Notre Dame. So good job.
Dean didn't use that much bitter Baker's chocolate in her Southern cooking. My goodness.
What? Ooh. I mean, I'm just saying.
That face that Matt was making, by the way, when I was talking about you guys as Irish fans, pure gold. Anyway.
Was it my unfazed one? Because it's the millionth time that you've brought it up since I've joined this podcast.
Is it the same after the 12th time?
You see, EJ's going to talk trash because he sees somebody other than him as the target for one, so he's going to try to get his shot in.
No, I'm not getting a shot in. I'm saying, I'm asking, does it hit the same way after the 12th time? Like, I don't know.
Listen, you like politics so much, okay? He directly attacked me. I get mine
right there.
Wait, shut up, bitch. So,
I got my CNN on right here in the right-hand corner of the show.
Matt responds when you get him. I made a Santa joke on Twitter about Santa Claus being booed. That was gold. Even Jim laughed at it, though he won't admit it. And here he goes, "You could do better, Kyle."
I don't think Matt gets rattled much of anything, honestly.
See, well, that's actually it. When he claims he's not,
actually very little. Well,
I've noticed that I've known him about a year and a half now. You don't get rattled much by a lot of things.
I've known him for 20 plus years, and I rarely see him rattled.
What are you, a robot?
I've heard it all. It's not like Kyle's bringing new material to the Santa jokes are as tired as at this point the triple overtime jokes. I think.
Matt,
in
do
the
you have
off season, Kyle, my hope for you
I
is
haven't brought it up in at least 3 weeks.
Hey, Matt, do you have feelings?
My hope for you, Kyle, is in the off season you bring up some new material and it lasts longer than EJ's whiteboard did.
You're setting the bar nice and low, and I do respect that.
And on that, Matt, what was your good from the weekend?
Well, not to rain on Kyle's parade here, but Brian Kelly was actually my good as well. I was actually going to give a little tip of the cap to current and past Notre Dame coach because both of them had solid wins this weekend, both much needed in first year with those programs. I think Jim and I certainly made jokes that Brian Kelly would probably go 0-6 against Bama in his first 6 years if he made it that far. So kudos to him for proving us wrong and proving a lot of people wrong. So I think that was going to be the question. Can Brian Kelly win the big games in harder competition? And he's doing that this year.
I mean, listen, sometimes both sides win in a breakup. I'm just saying.
Yeah, look, I'm happy for him. Good job. You went down. You found your balls. You found the Southern accent. That's great. And I love Marcus Freeman. So
again, I'll never complain about Alabama losing. So
yeah, that too. That will always be fine with me. EJ, what was your good from the weekend?
My good this weekend was I had
getting dethroned as a Coach of the Year candidate by Robert Saleh.
I'm sorry. This is my turn to talk, Kyle.
Sorry. Right.
Are we done yet? Are we done talking here? We're gonna kind of talk. No, my good actually was that you guys can see I look relaxed today. I had a very stress-free weekend of sports. Very stress-free. The Giants were off, so they couldn't let me down at all. Let me finish. Thank you. Giants didn't play this weekend, so that's a win there itself.
They did lose some key pieces in the bye week.
They did. Come bye weeks, of course. Florida State, Miami. You know how I feel about that. 4-5-3. Thank you very much. Thank you. Down here in Miami too. Sad Canes fans. I love to see it. Phillies lose the World Series. Thank you, Dusty Baker. Congratulations, Dusty Baker. Yeah. And yeah, I'm just stressed. I'm just relaxed today.
Oh my God. Who the hell cares?
All right, my good, similar to Kyle, similar to Matt, with the wins by LSU and by Notre Dame. This year's college football playoff is going to be Clemson and Alabama free. So I think we all win as football fans. So that was my good from this weekend. Let's go to the bad. Matt, we'll start with you for the bad. What was the bad from this weekend?
I think I had messaged the group that it was in the ugly stage, but I think I'll at least elevate it to the bad status, and that would be Aaron Rodgers' performance this week, just because it was at least on the road. If he had had that performance in Lambeau, it probably warrants an ugly ranking, but even still, I think this season has been one where I think I saw something on Twitter where Tom Brady made it seem like you can trade away your best wide receiver and still be okay. And that is not the case for a lot of quarterbacks this season, Aaron Rodgers being one of them. I think back to the meme of the Wolverine crying and looking at the picture with Aaron Rodgers and Devontae and think back to what this season would be if those two were still together.
I mean, let's not act like Devontae got it any better losing in Jacksonville this week, folks.
No. They both can be on that meme.
Yeah, let me hold on. Let me backtrack here. Mike had his good. The Bengals found a run game, even if it was against the shit ass Panthers. Absolutely.
Frisky Panthers.
You know, those frisky Panthers. They're going to be
frisky Panthers.
They're going to be in all black this week. They're going to have black helmets this week. So maybe that makes them better. Who knows? I guess we'll find out. And Devin says his good was the Dolphins continuing their winning ways. So happy Dolphins.
Great job, Tua.
Over there. Was it? They won.
I mean, you're going to question Tua now? You're going to question that, Jim?
We won't.
It's not a matter of questioning Tua. It's the fact that they almost who did they play? And they almost lost. They almost blew it.
Let's not talk
defense.
Let's not talk about any ref intervention that may or may not have taken place either. I mean, I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
I mean, it's not like the defense didn't they played horrible.
The best pass Justin Fields has thrown all season. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
EJ, what was your bad from the weekend that was?
Ooh, the LA Rams. Oh, yeah, the LA Rams. Yeah,
I mean that game in general could answer their earnest.
It's bad all around, man. They're now 3-5, Super Bowl champions. I mean, at this point, you look. I guess at this point now, it's not too early to talk about playoffs, right? Not too early. Playoffs. Well, now week 10. I think it's time to look at the picture now and start seeing things and whatnot.
Playoffs.
I mean, can we safely bury the Rams now? I think it's time we could bury them. Or you think it's still a chance? Because the way I see it now, the only chance that the Rams are getting at this point now, they need either Seattle to fall apart. I don't think San Fran will. The Giants fall apart.
Of course you don't. Why
look at the projections. Like, okay, so who the playoff team in now? I don't see Dallas falling apart. I don't see them falling apart at all. Okay.
It's
tough to say this though because it's so early in the season. One injury can make any team fall apart.
I mean,
here's the thing.
The Rams are currently the 10 spot in the NFC, behind Washington, Atlanta, San Francisco.
Right. They have a lot of makeup to do in the next 9 weeks. A lot of makeup to do.
They're literally one. The Niners are 4-4, and the Rams are 3-5. We're at the halfway point.
Logically, San Francisco is probably the best chance to get in to surpass San Francisco, but they've lost twice to San Francisco now too. Twice. Okay.
Yeah, no,
the tiebreaker's gone. No, number one.
Right.
And as I said, I don't expect San Francisco to fall apart. I expect them to surge.
We know, and I'm sure
you know that. Number one.
Trust you're still wrong.
Right. Whatever. Okay, number two, the Giants have banked them off wins early on now to where they have a little bit of breathing room now, and the schedule is we'll see next 2 weeks. They play Houston and Detroit next 2 weeks. So the Rams, I mean, they got to pretty much win every game going forward.
Yeah, the biggest problem I think, EJ, all this stuff about placements and they're 10th and all this. The punchline is how many games back are they into the Niners? The answer is what? 2, 3?
3.
Yeah. So
no, they're technically it should be
to be 2. Actually.
Well, the Niners are 4-4. The Rams are 3-5. So the Rams have to win 2 more than the Niners do because of the tiebreakers.
Right.
So they're 2 games behind. And EJ, I'd be more concerned about the stretch of Dallas, Washington, Philly, Washington, Minnesota with your Giants than I would be the Houston and Detroit
right
game.
No, I agree with you. This is why I said the
stretch I'd be more
but Jim, that is exactly why I said the Giants.
Lions are frisky,
because of that
Jim.
schedule.
Well,
But
they
the
are.
but they banked
They're
enough
they're
wins
one of
early.
my playoffs team, Matt.
But they banked enough wins early on, and if they could win these next 2 games going forward, they're 8-2. So they have a little wiggle room than say the Rams, obviously. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, the Rams are not good right now. They are very, very not good. Yeah, I'd be comfortable putting them in the at least the very unlikely to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I won't completely shut the door on them like I will all the teams behind them, but they're getting close. Kyle, what was your bad from the weekend?
For my money, see, I had something I was going to go with, but I'm like, yeah, we should probably make that ugly because it continued to get worse as the week went on. So I'm going to postpone that. You guys are probably guessing what it is. But for my money, my bad, I have to do it. As much as I give credit to Patrick Lavon Mahomes II on a regular basis, how on earth do you find yourself taking overtime to beat Music City Malik Willis and the Tennessee Titans? How? What on earth?
Yeah, that wasn't a pretty game, and I'm gonna go kind of similar. When we're talking about the 2 best teams in the AFC, I'm gonna say the bad was the Buffalo Bills. I talked about it last week on this show, how they tried to give away a game to the Packers that Aaron Rodgers and company just couldn't finish the job. And another bad second half for the Buffalo Bills, this time resulting in a division loss to the New York Jets.
You mentioned division loss, Jim. Do you realize who has the worst division record in the AFC East?
It's the Buffalo Bills.
With 0-2. Somebody has been listening to the Student of the Game report. Bing!
It's because he's really good. You should subscribe yourself. But yeah, so I mean the Bills, as much as we think home field advantage, first place, Bills Mafia, cold in Buffalo, but you keep playing with fire. Yep. You're tied with the Chiefs. I know you have a tiebreaker over them, but the Jets are 6-3. The Ravens 6-3. There's a lot of teams right there. If you want to continue to try and give games away, they're going to take them.
You play with fire, you're going to burn the table that's at the tailgate. Is that how it goes?
Something like that. I think that's how the old adage goes.
Okay.
Buffalo,
it does.
Mike says bad. The Vegas over/under in the SMU Houston game. Both teams almost covered it by themselves.
Oh, good God!
Yeah, I think they're still scoring.
I swear to God, I saw that score. I thought, wait, college basketball's back?
Right. It was one of those.
Seriously.
A literal basketball score. Gentlemen, I had SMU competing for that conference at some point. Oh, God. You want to talk about bad? Apparently, it's that pick. Good God.
Yeah, not good. All right, let's go.
You're great, Bob.
Let's go to the ugly.
Not great, Bob.
EJ, what was your ugly from the weekend that was?
Oh, the Denver Broncos.
They were off this week. but
doesn't mean they got better.
Yeah, no, true. No, but I'll stay in the division though. The team that win the AFC West, the Raiders.
See, why can't you just give Travis Etienne credit for having his
can I
starter?
Can I get there, or you want to
pull
me there?
It because it was part of my
because my point I'm making here is this: the Raiders lose one way last week, 24-0. Okay, then they lose it the complete opposite way, where they have a big lead and then they lose it. I mean, this team is. I know what's going on here, man.
EJ, this is the third, because this is also my ugly. This is the third loss this season when they were up by 17 or more.
Yeah.
So they're losing every way possible. That's the second most all time, and we're only halfway through the season.
So this is a Josh McDaniels problem, right? Obviously.
I don't think it's just a McDaniels problem.
What else would it be? In addition, I mean, that's what I'm asking.
I mean, like the players just, I mean, Carr looks terrible. Like, I mean, if you want to boil it just down to McDaniels, you can, but
see, that's why I can't put it on Carr with all the trash that happened in that franchise last year. And he played like that in that.
Right.
Like, how can we put this on Carr? I don't get this. You want to blame John Matthew Stafford with the Rams arm, whatever. Cool. I don't get blaming Derek Carr. I just don't.
I mean, does he not have more weapons there? I like.
He has Adams. That's extra. In fairness, that's a big fat.
That's a big
Arguably
extra
the best
though.
receiver in football.
An
Like,
offensive coach that I'm supposed to fall to my knees and worship because of all that he did with EJ's Patriots can't do anything with Carr and Adams.
Because Tommy,
That's what's suspect.
Dirk and Tommy. That's what it is.
oh, I mean, I'm not saying that McDaniels isn't without blame, but I have a hard time believing that it's just coaching.
Oh, hey, I'll make it 75%. Cool.
Yeah, that's all. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Like,
You
like
think it's a collective failure. Let's just go.
yeah,
on.
like you don't lose in all the different ways the Raiders have found themselves to lose by just coaching.
And their
And now
defense has been bad for a minute, obviously.
And let me say this right now: they're probably not only a bottom 5 team, they're probably a snug bottom 5 team now at this point.
Well,
Snug.
Yeah, we'll get there.
I petitioned them to the committee, 3 weeks ago, EJ?
You did, and then I committee listed next week, and since then
They
they've been
really
there.
did, actually. That's
Yes.
true.
Kyle, what was your ugly from the weekend that was?
Oh, my God. Yosemite Sam Ellinger and the Colts and the retirement of Matt Ryan. And some guy named Jeff is going to Oh, no, wait. They're actually freaking hiring Jeff Saturday, who apparently was 3-7 high school coaching, for Christ's sake. Listen, I've talked to Jeff Saturday personally. This is a nice guy.
Seems like a nice man.
Jeff Saturday,
But Jeff Saturday. He really
he's brilliant ESPN too. I love him.
Separate question. This is about me, EJ.
Not how it feels now.
Yeah, exactly. No. But yeah, listen, he even has a foundation to help young burn victims and stuff. It's a cool thing, but no, God, Ursay. And somebody was actually floating. Hey, Byron Leftwich might want to go to Indy. Fool, if he can't handle Trent Baalke, how the hell do you think he's going to go anywhere near that mess? Put the drugs down. Jesus Lord.
When I saw this, the first thing that came to my mind was, this is definitely a tank job here.
So it's interesting. As somebody who wrote for the Dolphins Wire in 19 and tanking for Tua while I was writing, yes, thank you. Don't ding them. That editor and I didn't, anyways. Let's not get too far behind that curtain on this. But I will say this though, EJ Christian.
Yeah.
Your theory isn't unsound. A good way to tank without tanking, so to speak, is to trade away your good assets and see what you have waiting around, like bringing in Yosemite Sam Ellinger. Hell, Reggie Wayne's on the staff. Why didn't you just promote him instead of making yourself a spectacle the likes of, I don't know, Janet Jackson in a halftime show? Okay, bad example. But
not your best work.
He's trying hard, guys.
Listen, I can't mention something that
humiliating
without it being painful.
I'm just happy that Jim Irsay had a dumb enough press conference that nobody's talking about Jerry Jones potentially wanting to sign one of my mortal enemies. So thank you, Jim Irsay.
I don't remember him talking about Dabo Sweeney anytime recently.
Oh Jesus, good God, get out of here. That guy's still picking up his bottom lip from pouting on the sideline in South Bend. So he's not. Well, I know, but I can't get enough of that video clip. I really can't.
But remember, Matt, it's going to be a big challenge on that schedule.
I mean,
your theatrics aside, it was 3 ranked teams. I don't know why that was such a joke.
Oh, yes, right. Because, actually, Notre Dame actually having the audacity to consider themselves a top 23 team should have been my bad, but I don't want to disrespect the house with 3 Irish.
I mean, Notre Dame picks their ranking spot, right?
I mean, the board of trustees member is on the committee. That's true.
Well, the committee makes the preseason rankings, right? Where Notre Dame was number 5. Yeah, okay.
Oh, you want me to go after the writers again? I'm trying to save you time, Jim. You're the one.
So it's the writers. It's not Notre Dame's fault. Got it. Thank you. Matt, what was your...
whatever, board of trustee member. You got it.
Oh, don't worry, Kyle. The next segment is where you can get the tinfoil ready. We're fine. Matt, what was your ugly from the weekend?
Jim Garrison felt.
I'm going to actually have to put everyone's favorite mullet, Mike Gundy, in Oklahoma State as my ugly for this week. And it can go back to 2 weeks ago when someone on this panel had the opportunity to put that game as the one we talked about and instead chose to talk about Notre Dame. But that all aside, in the past,
Start doing that, Matt. Listen, you're crediting me for having.
I blame you.
Get him, John.
Blame you.
I mean, in the past 2 weeks, that offense has put up 16 points total. And I understand their quarterback is injured, and that is certainly unfortunate. But a team that was averaging 44.7 per game in the first 7 games to have 16 points total in your previous 2 and losing to Kansas when you have aspirations to climb back up into a New Year's Six bowl possibly does a lot more harm than good. It's unfortunate to see that collapse that it has. They've been outscored 85-16 in their past 2 weeks against Kansas and Kansas State. And if that's the level of QB play that they're going to be accustomed to, I don't see them losing to Iowa State, but I didn't see them losing to Kansas.
Not great, Bob.
Damn it, you beat me to it.
Let's see. My Devin's worst was the Houston Astros winning the World Series. Yeah.
Thanks, Devin.
Oh my God. Who the hell cares?
Mike's ugly. Ohio State struggling with Northwestern. Yeah. That was certainly not the prettiest effort.
Wait a minute. That can't be the ugly. That's the nation's best team, right, EJ?
Allegedly.
Well, they were until last week.
1A at least now.
They were they were until last week. No.
Did you see these? Did you see Jim letting him play? Letting him make fetch a thing last week?
Did you watch last week, Matt?
I did not catch it, but I understand the reference.
All right, let's move on here. To this week's college football playoff rankings.
Oh, come on.
Ooh, wait. Before we go to the rankings, number 23.
Yeah.
Proceed.
Okay.
That's all I want to say. Proceed. I'm done. I want to get out. I want to get it out.
I want to levy my apology to the Notre Dame fans, so I guess I'm apologizing to you at the same time. What the hell is Florida State even doing here?
Oh, wait. They're 6-3, dude. Calm down. They're 6-3.
Jesus Christ. No, EJ, if you beat up 6th to 8th graders and then get beat by 3 of them, you still suck.
Quit crying, buddy. Jesus.
Don't ask the questions.
Things suck.
Don't ask the questions if you can't handle the truth.
I mean, at least UCF is above them.
Yeah, there's that.
Once again, UCF, the first school in the state to become.
You can't handle the truth.
Got him.
Mike
I knew I had that.
Mike raises a good point about Coastal Carolina as well.
Who?
So Mike says 8-1 Coastal Carolina greater than 6-3 Florida State.
Legit.
I would not. I would not.
I mean, hey, why not on the rankings? I understand why they're not top 25. They're 8-1.
Well, because the committee gets things wrong regularly. EJ, like Ohio State at number 2, but we'll get there.
Don't even. I'm sorry.
All right, so let's look at the top. Let's say the top 7. That's what ESPN did tonight. Let's look at the top 7. If you're watching along on the video, you can see it on your screen. You can see the rest of them. But the top 7 in college football this week: Georgia 1, Ohio State 2, Michigan 3, TCU at 4.
Congratulations.
Tennessee 5, Oregon 6, and LSU is number 7 off of their win from Alabama. Kyle, we'll start with you. What's your biggest issue in the top 7?
Ohio State, and it's not close. Listen, for all my griping about your Irish having no business being ranked, just like EJ's Knowles, go Heat, bitch. God, what is Ohio? How do you have both of the weakest resumes among the top 7 in the top 4? How the hell does that happen? I don't get this. Tennessee has a better case to be 3 than Ohio State just on resume alone.
I agree.
So shut up, Mr. Best in the country. I don't need your support. But listen, honestly, I joke with you, EJ, but if you're saying it, what more do I have to frickin' say? I would have appreciated Oregon's there. I guess I could respect that. Bama at 9's a little rough, but then I'm not mad at it. And Clemson being 10 is just moronic, nonsensical silliness.
Yeah.
You know what, Jim? I'm going to side with you for the first time in a long time. The Clemson Tigers are my defendants, not the Utes. I can make an argument that they're a better team.
Oh no! There we go.
Wow.
That one caught me off guard, Kyle. For not Clemson being the defendant. You saying you agreed with me. That was just what would caught me off guard.
You know, I have my issues with Dabo, granted not to your extent, but listen, you make the press corps wait an hour and a half for you. They don't like it.
Mm-hmm. Matt, what is your biggest problem in the top 7?
I think it would be Ohio State as well. I think I would put Michigan and TCU above them just because of the close wins that Ohio State has had against some teams that aren't great. I mean, we're talking top 7, so I won't point out that Penn State at 14 is unfathomably high.
Egregiously bad.
Yeah, great point, buddy. Holy stuff.
Real bad.
But I mean, I guess that they were put there just to kind of justify having Ohio State at 2. But I think that's tough. And this isn't by any means a knock on Brian Kelly or LSU or what they've done, but they've had 2 tougher losses. So I wouldn't have been opposed if USC was above LSU, just maybe flip those 2.
Only group last week, they were the only group in the top 10 with a home loss. I think they should be punished more than that, but I'm not going to nitpick one place in that spot. I get it.
Yeah.
And it's reactionary to beating Alabama.
Right, because it's Alabama.
I
mean, Oregon, it's again another, like, because they just got absolutely trounced by Georgia. But they haven't lost since, so I understand that.
Yeah, and they're winning convincingly again. Schedule aside, they're winning convincingly.
They're allowing the team to improve throughout the year to an extent too. Yeah, I know the first week was a ridiculous loss, but they've looked so much better since. You know, and I'll tell you, if you're a struggling Auburn program, there's a couple, you know, they need a quarterback and a coach. There's a couple up-and-comers. There's this kid, Bo Nix in Oregon, that they could do something with if they can arrange a transfer. And also there's a coach there in Orlando who's been doing great things with UCF. Maybe they should try to get a hold of him. And then Auburn would be.
I see what you're doing there. I see what you're doing there. But yeah, I mean, Clemson probably helps that they put Notre Dame where they did, you know, similar to Penn State boosting Ohio State and Michigan's resume. Notre Dame now being 20 helps boost Ohio State, and
similar to Notre Dame boosting Cincinnati into the playoff, that kind of thing.
And Clemson, we're not talking about last year. EJ, what is your what is your biggest issue in the top 7?
Well, same as I said, I had no problem with everything but 2 and 3. I was swap 2 and 3 easily. Michigan 2, Ohio State 3. 1 is fine, 4 is fine. 5. I actually could make a case for Tennessee being number 4, honestly. And 5 and 6 are fine though, honestly. So 2 and 3 is my biggest gripe right now.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And again, these 2 teams play each other in 3 weeks. So
I think they got the top 6 correct. You can shuffle those.
Oh around, yeah, there's no doubt about
those
that.
are all correct.
Yeah, that's not
because like here, I mean, the way I look at 2 and 3 is they have one common opponent, and Michigan handled Penn State infinitely more convincingly than Ohio State did. Ohio State struggled against Penn State for a few quarters. They struggled against Northwestern for a few quarters. They were close with Notre Dame into the 3rd quarter. So. Like,
and they're awful.
Right. I mean, listen to Kyle.
Offenses, anyway.
But yeah,
ACC team. What do you expect?
They're not an ACC team. They're an independent, but that's cute.
You know, if they were an ACC team, then they might be.
I mean, I'll tell you what though, like Tennessee. I mean, like I said, I'm not mad at TCU being number 4, but Tennessee has a really good case to be in the top 4 still.
Tennessee is in a great spot
with the resume though. Like they beat LSU, they beat Alabama.
They'll be in there in a couple weeks if they handle business because of the
all they got to do is win out. And I mean, right now, Tennessee's actually in a great spot because they're not leading their division. So if they win out, they're going to let everything else around them play out. So if LSU would get to the SEC title game and beat Georgia, then
oh god,
Essentially,
that's how you get your 3 SEC teams.
I was going to say,
in the
is that
Right.
how you backdoor Tennessee back in? Because you got to put Georgia in, right? You got to put LSU in then, right? Then does Tennessee get into that conversation? I guess it depends what happens with.
I mean, at that point,
what
Ohio
happens with
State
TCU.
and Michigan will have played each other, so one of those teams is going to be on the outside looking in, and you would just assume
the thing I
TCU
said to my wife
stumbles.
is
kind of the same way Bama backdoor the same way too. They didn't play in the conference game, but they still got in.
Yeah. The
a
thing
couple years ago.
I said to my wife is you got to hope that both Ohio State and Michigan win out, and it's a close game between the two of them.
Yeah.
Well, I would even argue that Ohio State doesn't have to win out as much as, because if Ohio State doesn't win out, then Michigan has to blow them out, right? If they come
knock Ohio State out of it, it would have to be a blowout win.
Correct. Yeah. But at this point, assuming everything goes as we expect, regardless of which Big Ten team wins, probably be Michigan based on what we've seen. No offense, Jim. I don't mean to jinx you and your Wolverines, but the committee has set it up. That was cute. Listen, don't act like we don't see you wearing an undershirt, hippie. Come on now. We see. Oh, shit.
He's stripping.
Jim, I've been to your house. There's a Michigan flag right next to the front sidewalk.
That's right. I will not deny that.
Inside information.
I also didn't put it there, just for the record.
We don't know that for sure.
Listen, one of you is taller than the other. I'm assuming the taller one did it. Anyways.
Incorrect, but that's fine.
But with all that being said, the reason why the committee put Tennessee there, to you guys' point, it's going to be that Ohio State Michigan game that decides fate if everything holds serve, right?
Well, and they have the quote unquote better loss, right? Like they both lost to Georgia, but Tennessee was closer.
Right. Yeah.
So, we want to start splitting hairs there. They have the undefeated teams that are in the top 4. EJ, what's your top 6 this week?
It would be Georgia 1, Michigan 2, Ohio State 3, TCU 4, Tennessee 5, Oregon 6.
All right, Matt.
I am actually going to bump Michigan up to 2 and then slide Ohio State to 4. TCU's at 3.
That's the answer.
How about you, Kyle?
With my SEC bias, I would probably have TCU 3, Tennessee 4, Ohio State at 5, and let them earn their way into the top 4 by beating Michigan. That would be my method. And then, as much as I think Oregon is a team that I have yet to have any real faith in, and that's a me problem, I'll be honest. But they've done enough, I think. I can see dancing with 6. There's a lot of parity in the league this year. Regardless of that, this many ACC teams in the top 25, and you wonder why I have my tinfoil hat on. I'm not saying, yes, I am. So
you're always saying yes.
Because I'm right, bitches. But
I mean, Oregon's
not always,
win at this point is what, UCLA, after the massive drop off of Brigham Young.
Yeah, because they were a threat. No, but yeah, and
they were 12 when they played, and then they lost every game ever since.
Not for nothing. No, but I like USC in the top 10, just like I predicted. Exactly. Clemson, I don't need to go that far down. We're just doing top 7. I don't want to get in a fight over LSU at 7. I think they're a little overranked, and the committee was forced to kind of double down on it. I can make an argument for Bama or USC there, but you can't do that if they just got beat by them, So, yeah, I'm not mad at it, but let's be honest, they're overranked.
LSU?
Yeah, and look.
I would at least flip LSU USC.
Look, if I know Brian Kelly, like I think I know Brian Kelly, they'll lose to Arkansas this week, and it won't matter anymore.
I think LSU had the tougher schedule, I guess, between. It's probably why they're higher slightly.
Possibly,
Bama,
but and I mean, here's the I mean, we'll
see. They lost badly to Tennessee too. Correct?
Oh yeah, like 45 to 10.
I have the same top 6, but I have Michigan 2, Ohio State 3. I think 3, 4, 5. You can make a case for any of them in those spots. Maybe not Tennessee at 3. I think coming off a loss the way they lost, they don't have a case at 3. So you want to go Ohio State or TCU at 3? That's fine. You want to put TCU at 3, Ohio State, Tennessee, fight for 4 and 5. That's fine. But that's where we stand right now.
I'll be honest with you. Like, if Tennessee had lost even a close game on Saturday, I would have put them at 4 immediately.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it would have been close, I would have had no problem.
But that's what made me put us at 5.
They got boat raced.
Yeah, they did. It was never close.
It was 2 touchdowns. I mean,
it was 2.
It was never close. It was never close.
And the rain came. If the rain doesn't show up, Georgia may not take off the gas. They may win by 30.
That's what I wanted said. It was more dominant than the score. There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Mike here in the comments. His top. He has Georgia, Michigan, TCU, Tennessee, Ohio State, Oregon, LSU. So I think we're all
on the same boat, pretty much.
We're all about in the same spot here. I think we're all in agreement. With that one. So let's go to the
Clemson sucks.
That is true.
Thank you, Notre Dame.
We can all agree on that.
Get them out of here.
You had the 1 week you could have said it without anyone getting pissed at you, and you didn't do it.
I already did. I already bothered Jim all week with that Go Irish shit all week.
All freaking year, EJ.
But this week, I went ham on it.
All week.
You have to admit this week I went a little hammer than usual. So
you did go heavy-handed on it this week.
This is the 1 week that EJ got away with it. I noticed Matt again didn't say anything, didn't even make a joke about it being that comment is so old it made him fall off his dinosaur or whatever.
Any dating site there.
Yeah. Way to point it out.
That blocked out of the way. All right, let's go to the college football picks. We will start with Kyle. I mean, my game for the weekend. It is number 22 UCF. They are 7-2, and they are at number 17 Tulane, who is 8-1 and a 2-point home favorite. 54.5 is your over/under on this one. Saturday at 3:30 on ESPN2. EJ, we'll start with you.
Give me the over. What's the spread again?
It was Tulane's 2-point favorite, 54.5.
Oh, it's down to only 2. Wow.
Ooh, give me UCF. Fuck that. Let's go.
All right. Matt.
I mean, we're talking red waves and blue waves right now if you're EJ, so why not ride the green wave? Give me Tulane. Give me the over, though. I like the
you
over.
Get me, Matt. You get me.
That's scary. Kyle, how about you?
Let me change my pick.
Shut the fuck up. You already got in.
Listen, I will first of all, I will abstain from picking the game itself as I am covering the game in question for the black and gold banneret. Bing, bing. Despite my alleged fanhood or lack thereof, Matt.
That makes sense.
Allegedly. What I will say is, if you guys are picking the over, you're more confident in both offenses than I am. Not so much that they're bad per se, but UCF is probably going to go with their backup quarterback in the form of Mikey Keene. And while Pratt is doing an excellent job, Mike Pratt is doing an excellent job as the Tulane quarterback under Coach Willie Fritz, who's been lifting the program up except for that one COVID year. Oh my God. This is going to be Coach Malzahn at the press conference Monday. And some of the players actually too were saying after they beat them last year, that's going to be a team. They were 2 or whatever and 7 or whatever it was on the year, but they had the pieces. Everybody's a year older, and Coach Willie Fritz, man, came out, and now there's a reason that they were in the line to go to game day. I know it's going to be in Austin, but yeah, look out. Listen, this is going to be a better game than most anything you'll see in the ACC, and that's a fact, Jack.
That's also not hard.
I didn't say the bar was set high, Jim.
Yeah, I'll go. I think I'm going to go Tulane here. Similar to Matt. I guess we're all in sync with waves and whatnot this week. So I'll go green wave plus the 2, and I'll take the over.
I'm so angry. I'm a Knight fan. Allegedly.
Mike has the same green wave and the over. Now we go to
here for UCF, so I can cover a good bowl game, please. Thank you.
There we go. Now we go to actually Kyle's pick. It is number 15, North Carolina. They are 8-1. They are at Wake Forest, who is 6-3 and a 3.5-point home favorite. 77.5 is your over under on this one. Saturday 7:30, a night game. Oh, good God. 7:30 Eastern time on ESPN2. Oh, ESPN2. Got it. Kyle, we'll start with you. It's your game.
First of all, my bad. I saw this over under. I thought for sure it was a Big 12 game. I picked and I was like, oh shit. Well, at least I
thought it was a basketball game.
You're right. Yeah. I at least I get to talk trash and remind how much EJ's ACC and Jim's ACC is bad. There's a reason why Notre Dame came in and murked this conference over the pandemic, as much as Jim wants to deny that happened. Anyways.
No, I'll take that season. We did what we had to do in the COVID year.
Sure, that easy, right? You join a conference, you win it.
Join a conference, win it, and leave. That's fine.
Well, yeah, because you're going to the Big Ten, where now the conference might be even weaker at this point. But
they're still independent until anybody actually proves otherwise. Is that a silver hat, Kyle? No, never mind.
Winter is coming, old man. Winter is coming. Anyway, so with all that in mind, I don't really care. I just wanted to bash the ACC. I'll take it because I think whichever one beat FSU, I'm picking them to cheese off EJ, and I'm going to pick the under because AARP rules apply. 65 and under if it's not the Big 12. Jesus Christ.
Didn't both of them beat? I'll check on that. Matt, go ahead.
I like UNC getting points, even though it is in Wake Forest. That's a hell of a travel for UNC to get to Wake Forest. It's going to be a daunting travel schedule that probably wear them out. And no UNC fans are going to travel that far either. It's too much to ask. So,
wait, UNC has football fans?
Allegedly. So give me UNC plus the points. 77.5 is a little too steep for me, even though I know that both teams are known for their offenses and not their defenses. But I will take the under on this one.
Who would have guessed that we have a Pac-12 game, a Big 12 game, and it's the ACC game with the highest over/under? That's hard to believe. And for the record, I did look it up. It was only Wake Forest who beat Florida State.
Oh, good. I picked the correct.
UNC does not play them. So, EJ, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the reminder. Appreciate it. I'll also take the under as well on this one. Slight under. Give me Wake though in this game. I'll take Wake.
Oh, did that insult you, EJ? Let me take a note real quick.
I love it.
Merchandising.
tpublic.com.
Good job.
Give me UNC plus, and I guess the win. Now give me the win as well. They'll be Wake Forest to make that.
I would take the UNC money line, honestly, if I was betting on this game, which I wouldn't do. But if you wanted to.
But I'll take UNC to win to make that Wake Forest victory over Florida State look worse for the Seminoles. You follow? All right, and with the over under, I'm going to go under. 77.5 is a lot of points.
It also makes Notre Dame's win over UNC look a little better, Jim.
There we go. See, that'll help boost their ranking up and make Kyle angrier. Everybody wins on the Huddle Up podcast.
It's all very confusing. Like, you're supposed to cheer for your conference mates, but since your conference mates are playing each other,
Notre Dame's independent. I still don't know what you're talking about, Kyle, but let's go to Matt's game.
I've seen their schedule. I know better. Moving on.
So 5 games out of 12 makes you a conference team? Okay, whatever. Let's go to Matt's game, though. 7-2, Washington travels to number 6, Oregon, who is 8-1, and a 13.5-point home favorite. The second biggest spread on the show this week. 72.5 is your over-under. Saturday night, 7 o'clock Eastern time on Fox. Matt, it's your game. Kick it off.
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams have scored close to, if not in the 40s, pretty much every game in these last few, at least Oregon has. So that offense is clicking. So 72.5, I think I would feel comfortable taking the over in that regard, just because Oregon's defense, while they have shut down juggernaut teams like Colorado and Arizona, are known to give up some points to a more of a proficient offense, which I guess you could consider the Washington Huskies to be. And I like the Huskies getting the points. I think it'll be a little closer in terms of the shootout that we're anticipating, probably like a 10-point win for Oregon. So give me Washington plus 13.5.
All right, EJ.
Facing juggernauts such as checks notes.
No, I would like to think Oregon can see that they have an opportunity to crack the 4 at some point. They keep winning and showing, good performance here. So give me Oregon to cover 13.5. And I'll take So that's a slight under on that one.
All right, Kyle.
The AARP rule here still applies. I'm not going to go 65 and over here, no. But I would like very much for Bo Nix and company to get Washington the hell out of the top 25. They are the Pac-12 team I think has no business in there. And
they are not in the top 25.
Oh, I thought I saw them at 25.
They're in AP top 25.
Yeah, college football playoff wise, they are not.
I beg your pardon. I thought I saw them at number 25. Who was number 25 then?
No, 98, 9 in the top.
20. Oh, no, I stand corrected.
Oh, shit.
That is my mistake. Kyle.
Whoa. I say except you're welcome. As I was saying, the reason why you don't think they're there is because they don't belong.
Well, it's temporary because when they lose this weekend, they'll be gone.
I mean, in Kyle's defense,
I tried to tell you, but you wouldn't listen.
It's true.
Thing I do, homie. Check the T-shirt.
No, Kyle, I get all the credit there. Absolutely.
Who's a basketball player you've seen dunk on 3 guys at once, EJ? You're the NBA guy. Where's the reference?
At once?
Keep up.
Wait, at once?
At
like
once.
People want to. Shit.
Like I just did. That's the joke. Come on, Kit. Jesus Christ.
He'll get it by the end of the show.
Maybe.
But we stand corrected.
Doing the reason.
I'm gonna go with
the show in 2 weeks. Yes.
I'm going to go with Washington to cover the 13.5. I think I saw a chance of like rain or snow showers with Oregon as well for this game. So that I think is going to help keep things a little bit closer. And I think it's going to help keep things at the under 72.5 in this one. I did miss Mike's pick on the last one. He has North Carolina in the under. He has the Ducks, the Gordon Bombay, and the over. Well done. Then we go to EJ's game. It is number 9, Alabama. That's got a great ring to it. Let's see if we can keep that trend going. 7-2. They are a 12-point road favorite at number 11, Ole Miss, who is 8-1. 63.5 is your over/under. Saturday, 3:30 on CBS. EJ, your game. Go ahead.
Game Bam on this one to cover 12, and I will take a slight over.
All right. Matt.
Yeah, I think this is going to be another get-right game for Alabama. We saw what happened to Mississippi State after they lost to Tennessee. I think something similar can happen to the Rebels after losing to LSU. So give me Alabama to cover the spread. I will take the under on that one.
All right, Kyle.
I will take Ole Miss with the points, but I'm cheering for Alabama to win, not for the reason you're thinking, Jim, because, hey, the better he does now, the more likely it is he comes to Orlando where I could cover him in the Citrus Bowl. So, selfishly, I take Alabama. Because it's the SEC, I'll take the under, and I also have Ole Miss covering.
12 points feels like a lot of points for a team that beat Texas by 1, beat Texas A&M by 4, lost to Tennessee, and lost to LSU. So I'm going to get Ole Miss to cover the 12.5. I think Alabama wins the game, but being on the road, like for Ole Miss, yeah, I get it. Alabama is not number 1. They're not in a college football playoff position. You don't necessarily have the opportunity to ruin their season, but you have a chance because, look, not trying to be like Kyle here, but Alabama at 9, they want to run the table. Other crazy things happen. You want to see a committee get real freaking weird. Let's get a 2-loss Alabama team. Find a way to get them in, right?
No way.
Ole Miss has the opportunity. Even Kyle says no way. But I'm exaggerating on purpose. But Ole Miss has a chance to really, really sink that dagger in the chest. So they're going to try to do their best at home. I think Alabama ultimately wins, but I think it's closer than the 12 points. And I will take the slight under as well. Mike has Ole Miss to cover and the over. All right, and then finally we go to the College Game Day game this week. It is number 4 TCU. They are 9-0 at number 18 Texas, who is 6-3. And I don't understand this at all, but a 7-point home favorite. 64.5 is your over/under on this one. 7:30 Saturday night on ABC. Kyle, I'll start with you.
It's they're playing into Texas's defensive line is what they're doing. Now, I don't know how much I buy that or not. I honestly haven't watched enough Texas, but the question I will pose is, at what point do we actually seriously ask if that team in orange is back? If they finish ranked, I'll have that conversation. Until then, I will not. At any rate, for my money, let's see. Big 12, for now it still is because Texas hasn't left yet. Check, over. And, as much as I do want to see TCU and the Big 12 represent, it helps me long-term in fashions regarding which games I cover, saying selfishly. But with all that in mind, I really think TCU is going to dump this game, mostly because I guess God hates me. I'm joking. But, no, honestly, I think TCU loses. We see the chaos that you're talking about, Jim. Tennessee crawls back.
You suck.
I made this go, but jackass. But listen, and you know what? I will take every bit of blame if that does happen. I don't enjoy having that conversation, but nonetheless, here we
I blame you.
Amen. You can't handle the truth.
Matt, let's get to you for this one.
I would actually take TCU -7. So TCU +7 kind of seems like a safe bet on my end. And it's Big 12, so give me the over on that one. I mean, I know Texas has had some fine wins, but
and a quality loss, Matt.
Right.
Oh, I love those quality losses.
Couple quality losses.
You know what?
Too.
Don't you, Irish?
We've made playoff resumes on quality losses, Kyle.
Exactly. So
bitches in your villainous laugh.
Not gonna hook them horns here. Give me the Horned Frogs.
All right, EJ.
There's like the Horned Frogs +7 here, and yeah, it's Big 12 football. So give me the over, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, look, Texas may keep things close for a little while here, but TCU I think is going to also realize they have the opportunity to get into a playoff. They are now the 4 spot. The ball is in their court. They can only find themselves out. And so I think that's going to be extra motivation for them to win the game. I'm taking them +7. I'm taking them to win this game outright, and absolutely taking the over on a Saturday night in Big 12 football. Mike has the Horned Frogs by 1,000,000 and Death, Texas, and the over as it is in the Big 12. Let's move on here, guys, to the National Football League.
Sorry, before we get there, McConaughey's clearly the guest picker for game day, correct?
Oh, geez.
Oh, I would think so.
I think even Ray Charles.
All right.
I didn't know that was on there. I wouldn't have talked over it. I apologize. By the way, quick note. They didn't even need a marketing firm to do it. They just needed a conference championship, Big 12, just like we told them years ago. Anyways.
I tried to tell you, but you wouldn't listen.
Oh, that felt good.
All right, let's go to week 10. There are 4 teams on a bye in the National Football League this upcoming week. That is the Bengals, EJ's Patriots, the Jets, and the Ravens. Let's go ahead.
Are you shaking your head no at that?
So do you not like the Patriots anymore because Tommy's not there, or
so now they're losing. You abandon ship.
Losing it, they're 5-4. They're actually winning again.
If
I don't know.
If the Jets actually beat the Patriots 2 weeks ago, they'd have been first place in that division. I'm just throwing that out there.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
This is true.
Well, then they would be EJ's Patriots.
Also true. Also true. All right, let's start with my game. I am staying in the NFC East for this one. It is the 4-5 Commanders traveling to 8-0 Philadelphia, who is an 11-point home favorite. Currently, again, this game 6 days away. So if you're catching this, on demand after the fact, and you're a degenerate like EJ, you want to make sure you check. You make sure you want to check the numbers as you get closer to game time. But 11-point home favorite for the Eagles. 44 is your over under Monday night 8:15 on ESPN. Matt, as the resident Eagle fan, I'll start with you for this one.
Thank you. I mean, I don't know why you guys include teams I root for in these things. You're not going to get expert analysis. I'm going to pick my team to win every single time like the homer I am. Give me the Eagles. Give me the over.
All right. EJ.
Man. Eagles win the game. There's no question about that.
Okay.
I don't know, man. Frisky Commanders.
Oh boy.
Stop it.
Oh
Frisky
boy.
Commanders. Keep it
Stop
close. Backdoor cover counts too.
Listen.
I mean, I feel like if Wentz was playing, this is probably a bigger storyline game and probably what ESPN had in mind when they asked for
But
it.
I mean, let's also
yeah.
be honest. With Heineke under center, this is probably going to be closer than if Wentz was under center too.
Oh,
You know
absolutely.
what? I'll go with
Absolutely.
that. Give me Commanders on the points here.
Oh,
I'll take the over.
Goodness. All right, Kyle, go ahead.
No. What a stupid pig by EJ. No.
Hell no.
Listen, man. It's adorable that they struggled a little bit with the Commanders on a Thursday. Sorry, the Texans on a Thursday night. EJ will still have him 32. Don't worry. But yeah, the Eagles, guys, come on, please.
Yeah. This one, this Eagles plus, probably the over. I don't know if is there a chance of weather on Monday in Philly.
There's always a chance of weather.
Well, that's true. I will go with. I'll still go with the over on this one. Then we go to EJ's 7-1 Minnesota Vikings at the 6-2 Buffalo Bills, who are a 5.5 point home favorite. 45.5 is your over under on this one. Sunday, 1:00 on Fox. EJ, your game, your pick.
This is actually a tough one because with Josh Allen's injury makes things a little weird.
Yeah, there's some belief that he's not playing.
Yeah, they're saying that he's limited in practice this week. So
does that make them frisky? Perhaps the Vikings.
Perhaps, yeah.
Does it make the Bills friskier because now they have lower expectations from everyone else?
That's very true. Also,
says the guy who cheers for the undefeated team.
So you know what? I don't trust the fucking Vikings anyway. Give me the Bills to cover anyway. 5.5 points.
So 1:00 game, EJ. Be careful.
I know.
I ain't even mad you took my point. You dunked that.
I think Josh Allen will play, and I think they will cover the spread. I think it's a good time to steal this spread, honestly. 5.5. Give me Buffalo to cover, and I'll take the I'll take a little bit of under here on this one, actually.
All right, Matt.
Under.
I think if you look back, despite playing college ball in Michigan State, Coupons has a really bad record in cold weather games outdoors. Not that it's going to be frigid in Buffalo this weekend, but still that hostile crowd. It is Buffalo. I'll take the Bills. I'm going to assume Allen plays, even if he's a shell of himself. I think that he'll be able to motivate the troops enough to will them to a win. So give me Buffalo -5. Give me the under, though. I don't see it being a high scoring affair.
High of 39 forecasted for for Sunday in Buffalo.
Okay.
For Buffalo, that's
a sunny day.
It's sunny. They're still going to be busting out the muscle shirts. But Kyle, go ahead.
Yeah, for those of us who are facing down a tropical storm / potential hurricane, a little different. Listen, for my money, I know EJ. I'm representing us here. Okay. No.
Okay.
I'm a hockey fan too when I have time. Anyways, so
love hockey.
Jib's face made that worth it. If you're listening,
Joe, fuck yourself.
If you're listening to the podcast, go to 1 hour and 3 minutes and on the YouTube feed, the Huddle Up Podcast channel, and look at Jim's face. You'll thank me later. That's what she said.
Timestamp.
Jesus.
So with all that being said, yeah, I'm not brave enough to have that much faith in coupons. If I can be brave enough to pick Justin Herbert when he was injured with fractured ribs, I can do the same for Josh Allen. I have the Bills. And
who is the Bills backup anyway?
I'm blanking. I totally forget.
Case Keenum.
Yeah.
Really? Vengeance game.
There we go. Yeah. give me the Bills either way then. Give me the Bills plus. Look, the Vikings struggled against Washington last week. So
Commanders, Jim.
I know. The playoff Commanders.
No.
Yeah, look, they struggled on the road in Washington. I have a hard time believing that you're gonna go in and even if Allen's banged up or you have to go to Keenum, The Bills are the better team here, and they're coming off a loss. They're gonna want to get right here. So give me the Bills plus, and give me a slight under. I think there's a chances. I think from the forecast again, we're multiple days out, but chances of rain possibly early, so might keep the score down just a little bit. Going back to the first game, Mike has Eagles in the over. Devin had Eagles in the under. Mike has give me Kurt Coupons and the over in this one.
Appreciate the proper spelling of Kurt there too.
That is right. That is Kurt, not Kirk.
Kurt with a K.
Kurt with a K.
Kurt with you, but you've been spelling it wrong otherwise. Boom.
There we go. All right, then we go to Matt's game. It is the 6-2 Dallas Cowboys. They're a 5-point road favorite at the 3-6 Green Bay Packers. That has another good ring to it, like that 7-2 Alabama. The 43 is the over-under on this one. Sunday, 4:25 Eastern time on Fox. Matt, it is your game. Go ahead.
I saw your puzzled look, Kyle. I threw this one on there just to return the favor for Jim, because if we're talking the Eagles Commanders game for no reason, let's talk about Cowboys Packers for no reason too. I mean, Dak is back. Sorry, EJ's Cowboys too. Didn't mean to exclude you on that.
Get it right. Yep, there you go.
Dak
is a disgusting act.
Dak is returning here. I think that we have seen him play well recently. I think this is a good chance for him to get back right as well. So give me the Cowboys minus the points. Give me the over, though. I don't think we see Rodgers have a repeat performance of the horrible day that he had against Detroit. I think we'll at least put a few more touchdowns on the board this time.
All right, EJ, go ahead.
Shit.
Way to start your analysis. Well done, EJ.
This is what the people tune in for.
Is this the week? Is it the week the Packers turn around? Is the week they actually turn around? Look at Jim. No. Fuck that. Michael Parsons, MVP. Give me Dallas Cowboys. Give me the give me Dallas on the points. Give me slight over.
All right, Kyle.
24-20. Yeah.
No, let's see. What's the spread on the game? It doesn't matter what the spread is on the game. You pick against Quayron while he's struggling. Are you high? Next question. Jesus.
Yeah, give me much like Matt here. I'm not picking against the Cowboys, especially not in this one. The Packers. The real question here is, do you get the over or the under? The Packers scored 9 against Detroit, who's the checks notes worst scoring offense in the National Football League.
Was the best at one point in the year. What the hell?
They scored 17 against Buffalo. Okay, that's a better team. I think we're going to see. Man, they are giving 43. That's kind of low. Give me a slight.
It's on the lower end.
Yeah, give me a slight over. I think the Packers are going to struggle to score points, but however, the Cowboys defense could score points off of the Packers offense. So yeah, I think I'll feel okay with the over on that.
I mean, 3 red zone turnovers for Aaron Rodgers last week I don't see that happening.
And the Cowboys defense performing slightly better than Detroit's currently. So let's see. Mike says Dallas and the under. Another question with the Packers really banged up going into this one. They lost a lot. Not only a loss on the scoreboard, but Aaron Jones might not play this week. Rashawn Gary out on defense for the year. A very banged up Packers team coming into this one.
Washington related story. Apparently, they were all suffering from bitten off kneecaps.
Yeah. And Devin also has the Cowboys and the over. Let's go to Kyle. This is your game. The 6-3 Seattle Seahawks taking on the 4-5 and back in first place. Woof. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 4-5, who are a 2.5-point home favorite. 2.5-point favorite. We'll call it 44.5 is your over under. This one Sunday at 9:30 Eastern time from Germany. The NFL goes to Germany for this one. Kyle, we'll start with you.
You know, it's just like commenting on the fact that you said that Washington wasn't 25. Woof. Anyways, so no, with that in mind, guys, the only reason I really picked this game because all of the three of you goofballs actually picked the games I had for the matchup mania this week on the 3-point conversion. So read about my analysis that there's a little bit more depth in there when you check that out on the 3pointconversion.com. Thank you, Jim, for the bell. And I also wanted to utter this phrase. Geno Smith is favored over Thomas Edward Patrick Bieber Brady. Yeah.
Is he? I thought the Seahawks were getting. They're giving?
No, Tampa's favored by 2.5.
Yeah, Tampa's favored by 2.5.
Oh, how the hell?
Right?
Let's be honest with you. That have 3 point when you go home team you always get 3 points anyways. So that's pretty much a pick 'em.
Right, but it's not necessarily
it's not a home game.
Right.
Which is I don't get it either.
Neutral site. Yeah. Jeez.
You know, Seattle's involved anyway.
Who the hell is this?
Yeah. No, listen, the NFL's clear most improved player candidate. Granted, we don't do midseason awards for most improved here on the Student of the Game podcast, but listen to that concept as well as Mike Bernier stepping in to do midseason awards on the Student of the Game podcast tomorrow night here on this channel. But also check that on the Student Game podcast as well if you don't watch the video here on the Huddle Up Podcast YouTube. Anyways, you know, I'm in the awkward position of having to side with Pete Carroll and pick the Seahawks until further notice that the Bucks have given me enough to really put faith back in them.
That is a disgusting act.
I know, but hey, listen, you're the one that said woof talking about first place.
I know. There's so much ugly with this game.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, title of your sex tape. Anyways, so with that in mind, I've been watching a lot of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'm sorry. Anyways, no, with that in mind, gentlemen, how do you pick in favor of the Bucks at this point, despite the alleged first place? But hey, look at it this way. As long as he's first place, at least EJ has a better home life.
He ain't lying.
So
hey, Jim, he ain't lying.
Do I have that on? Oh, I need to put that one on this
on
board.
the 3-count one.
Yeah, I need to put that on this board.
Can you
EJ,
tell me I'm not in on the joke?
Tom Brady is 1-0 since getting divorced.
Oh.
It continues this week.
Is this the comeback?
Bucks
back,
cover.
baby.
This is back. Yeah, he's back, baby.
Call it a comeback.
Bucks win and cover over on this one as well.
All right, Matt.
Yep, the one QB in the NFL that hated his family more than Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, is back.
That was a good one.
Show the league why he wanted to come back. No, I'm kidding. It's Seattle.
That's awesome.
Seattle plus the points. Give me
Really?
the under, though.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's yeah.
That was
wow.
great though, man. A great setup though.
Good.
All the way around.
That's good. That's good.
Wow.
Look, I would love to see, little Tommy Brady and the redemption story that that everybody wants to write. Coming off all the turmoil and to ride this Bucks team. And look, this Bucks team probably still gonna win this terrible fucking division. But I have Seattle winning this game. Look, if there's a coach in the NFL that I hate giving any credit to whatsoever, it's
here he goes.
But what he's doing with that team this year is pretty friggin' impressive. Like, let's give credit where it's due.
Yes, the GM had a great draft and nailed it in a way that Seattle hasn't in years.
Yeah. So I'll give Pete Carroll his due in the Seahawks, and I think they're going to get the win in Germany this weekend.
Still the only Lions win, by the way, but you go ahead.
Let's see here. Mike has Seahawks and the over. Devin has the Bucks and the over. And lastly, we go Sunday night. It is the 5-3 Chargers taking on EJ's 4-4 San Francisco 49ers. Sorry, I said Kyle's 4-4 40. Or I was right. Okay, I was right the first time. Who is a 7-point home favorite? 45.5 is your over under.
Hold
on.
Let me make that comment funnier for those.
This one, yes, there we go. For those watching at home, This one Sunday, 8:20 Eastern time on NBC and Peacock. Since I can't decide which 49er fan should go first, Matt, go ahead.
Wow.
All right. I feel like San Fran has kind of been turning things around a little bit. I know they lost to the Chiefs and the fraud cons, but
we're gonna forget that.
Missing 13 starters against the fraud cons, by the way.
That's true too. Chargers have just they've been winning but struggling. Every single game has been close that they've been winning. So give me San Fran
starters.
Right. I'll take San Fran minus the 7 at home. I'll take the over on that one.
All right. Kyle, I'll go to you next so we can save the biggest 49ers fan for later. So Kyle, go ahead.
Listen, if I first of all, don't bet this game. That's the pick. Take the under. Listen, you got two mass units battling each other here. What are they gonna do? Hit each other with their crutches and throw their casts at each other? Good Christ! No, I have to pick this game. I'm gonna pick the one that has a semblance of a quarterback. Still doing his thing. No offense to Jimmy G, but I'm gonna take Justin Herbert handling his business. I would love to see an injury report, but before I actually pick this game, but we are on Tuesday nights, such is life. I'm going to pick the Chargers to balance out EJ's 49ers pick that is upcoming.
That's good. EJ, go ahead.
Well, look, the Niners will win the game.
Here it goes.
I'm definitely taking in charge of the points. A lot of points here. Give me a slide over. That's what I should do.
God, why? What do you see here, buddy? Or is it just a feeling? Are you hooked on a feeling?
It's a gut feeling. Oh, what a feeling.
I mean, you are a Patriots fan, so a Boston song is appropriate. Boom!
There you go.
Down. There's your
Wow.
What a feeling. That's right.
This segment has really gone full circle, and I'm impressed by all of it. So well done. Well done on all parts. I think the Chargers will cover. They're coming off. Both teams are coming off a bye here. If
correct.
I'm correct. So I think the Chargers will make it close. I think the 49ers, I said it last week. I want to see a little bit more before I really buy or sell either way. But I think they pick up the win here and give me the man. Both offenses can score. Both defenses can tag. Give me the slight under. I don't feel good about it. Don't bet that. Like I'm not a degenerate like EJ, but do not.
You're nothing but a degenerate.
Do not.
Wait, doesn't Matt gamble more than I do?
Yeah, but it's funnier to pick on you.
I'm also more successful.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I'll say how many.
We need proof of that though, man. You don't put your picks out there. I do.
I mean, he's the one that
don't have to tell you.
I'm not saying I don't believe you. I just don't know this.
Why would I want to share my secrets with people?
And I
you should sell your secrets, buddy. Come on.
I also haven't seen Matt tweet out that he's done betting NFL this year, only to continue to bet the NFL this year.
Also, Matt's been to
You're
Disney.
nothing but a degenerate.
Also, Matt's been to Disney more recently than EJ has. So there's that.
Well, no. Disney. No.
Here he goes.
He went to Disneyland. He went to out west.
So
what?
It's still a fact.
I was at Disney in March.
That just makes it worse.
I was in March. I was there in March.
Relax, Staple. Chill out. Mike has the Chargers and the over. So that's where we wrap up with the Week 10 predictions, which brings us to.
Let's dance, Kyle.
Out of here. This is my dance season.
Yeah, thank you for being here. I don't have to embarrass myself.
Well, those are urban for you, Kyle. No,
It's not that. Like that was for you. I cursed on the show. I thought that would make you excited.
Well, I didn't hear the curse. I didn't hear it.
I said
over the music.
Oh, I got drowned out by the music.
God damn it!
I was saying. Fuck.
All right, let's look.
There you go.
Now, Kyle. Again, I know it's going to be difficult.
Look right.
Let's try to focus on the bottom 5 first. Okay, can we try to do that this week, EJ, for the podcast listeners?
32. All right, Jim. Woo!
Give us the bottom five for the podcast listeners.
All right, bottom five for the listeners here. We got 28, the Steelers, 29, the Lions, 30, the Raiders, 31, the Texans, and 32, the Panthers. All right,
I'm
guys.
sorry I glanced over to the left. My God, EJ, what the fuck is that top 10?
Okay, we'll get there.
It's not me.
I know it's not Kyle. I saw Matt throw his hands up. I'm like, okay, we got something here. But let's look at the bottom five. Do we have any issues on the bottom five?
I would petition the committee, and granted, this probably happened while or before or just after you formed it there, EJ. I would petition the committee to think really hard about switching wherever you have the Indianapolis Colts.
Colts, right? I knew you were going to say that.
Right now, because Panthers should still be at 32. I agree. Because they're in the worst division in football, but yeah, get the Texans out of here.
The only team I would consider taking out of there would probably the Steelers, right? The Colts, I guess.
If you like, it feels weird having two from the same division, but if that's how you feel, I'm not going to fight you on that.
See, what saves the Colts somewhat, they have 3 wins. Somehow, I don't know how the fuck they got 3 wins.
Oh my God,
bro! They have a
somehow they got 3 wins. I don't know.
Coached in high school.
I understand. I'm just saying, but
No, you don't understand.
3-7, EJ.
EJ, the Colts have the worst point differential in the entire NFL at minus 51.
They're at 27, so
they're starting Sam Ellinger.
They made Matt Ryan retire.
Like, come on. They have a high school football coach
who was 3-7.
Those, I mean,
like,
dude,
did Jeff Saturday even know he got the job before ESPN?
Apparently, he was stunned. Remember, you heard about that? He was stunned. Apparently,
yeah, we were all stunned.
Fucking Jim Irsay.
Besides how the hell did this happen? Victory over the Chiefs. Their wins are against Jacksonville and Denver. Okay, so let's not sell those 3.
Oh no, I'm not selling. I think they're right on the doorstep of the bottom 5.
Let's be clear on that.
But what's happening now too? Also, we started the year with teams like playing well, even the bad teams playing well. Now we're starting to see teams starting to bottom out now as we get into the middle of the year. The Detroit Lions bottoming out, Carolina bottoming out, Raiders are definitely bottoming out now.
The Lions just beat the Packers. If you want to talk about
bottoming out, but that game was a fucking shit show too.
Right, and there was a team who lost 5 in a row who lost that.
Let me ask you a question. Detroit was 32 last week, I believe, or 31.
That was too low then.
Okay, well right. They had 4 or 5 spots. I'm not doing that.
No, I didn't ask for that. Listen,
right. That's what required. I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't have them moving to 29, but I would petition the committee at this point to start looking harder at the Colts, obviously, which I believe you will do, and you'll have help doing it when they perform badly. And also, we need to be in serious talks about the Packers.
I have the Packers in my bottom 5.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers saves them, I guess, but yeah, they're definitely.
Why?
Hold on, Jim. They're definitely trending in that direction, though. But can you say that that they're worse than these 5 teams right now?
2 of them.
Yeah.
After the injuries, definitely 2 of them.
I mean, first off, the Lions just beat them for 1. As ugly as the game was, and I mean, I would probably trust the Steelers over the Packers.
Well, I'll trust Tomlin, not the Steelers.
Okay, well, he coaches the Steelers.
No, I get it. I'm just being cute. Let me be cute. Thank you.
Nice try. If you want to be cute, you called him Omar Epps like the real heroes did. Okay?
This is true. You're right. You're right. You got me right.
These are the Packers' last 5 games. A loss to the Giants, a loss to the Jets, a loss to the Commanders, a loss to the Bills, and a loss to the Lions.
Well,
that's not a good trend.
Well, 4 of those teams are actually pretty decent teams, though. So,
well, that's
the worst in Detroit. Well, it's still debatable, but
there's still. I mean, 5 in a row. The Rodgers and the Packers hadn't lost 3 games in a row prior to this year. They've now lost 5, probably staring down the barrel of 6, if we're being honest.
I mean, we're at a point that we have like probably 6 or 7 bad teams in the league right now. Like,
there's probably more bad teams than there are really good teams.
Well,
if we're going to be real honest.
Honestly, yeah. And which is weird because we started the year.
I personally have the Raiders as my number 32. I have the Panthers as a close 31. The The Raiders are so bad, man. They really are. They find new and creative ways to suck every week. But the bottom five isn't where the money of this segment's made.
Yeah.
Let's go to the top 10. And
Christ.
Hold on, Kyle. I'm actually not even going to you first. I saw a double hand flail from Matt on this one. So Matt, go ahead and attack first. We'll let Kyle pick at the pieces after, like a turkey.
I feel like the last time we were on this show, or that I was, we talked about how the Jets had been disrespected, and yet I look at this top 10, despite the Jets having won recently, an impressive win at that, and they're still not on the top 10. But the Dolphins, who scraped past the Bears,
thanks to the refs,
are on there. And that's ignoring the fact that you have the 49ers at 4.
Which is still wrong.
Incredibly wrong. Incredibly. If you wanted to make a case for the Niners at 10, sure. But to have them that far ahead of the Seahawks, who are leading their own division, as well as over, granted, it's Kirk Coupons, but the Vikings, who haven't lost to anyone except the undefeated Eagles, is a little surprising for me if we're ranking the NFC teams this highly.
Yeah, that's good.
It wasn't a quality one, though, because they lost by 3 scores.
Oh, well, crap.
Well, man, these facts make things difficult.
For all the trash we are talking, if you were going to put the Eagles at number 1, this was the week to do it, EJ. I definitely support you there. Niners, still too high. Snoop Dogg high. You should not have an NFC team in the top 5 that isn't the Eagles. Even still to this point, you degenerate. Why are the Bengals this low? I don't get that. What's been said about the Jets is nailing it. At this point, I do have to bounce, but I will say this. This isn't as bad as some of your others, but yeah, the Seahawks at 10, my mind isn't ready, especially when the Finns are behind the Jets in the damn standings, or at least should be.
By half a game.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Kyle, real quick, give your Twitter and Facebook plugs so people know where to keep track of what you're doing.
On enjoy, privileged gentlemen, always having fun here on the Huddle Podcast. Of course, I am Kyle Nash, the student of the game. You can find me on Twitter at the SOTG. Find me on Instagram as the same, the SOTG. Find me on Facebook as the student of the game. Check out my work with the Black and Gold Banneret, who I dropped some stuff about women's basketball last night. If that's your game, and if you like football, hey, listen, ranked versus ranked on the road playing Tulane. I will be part of the night shift show that covers road games. So check that out as well. Black and Gold Banner YouTube page, and also the Matchup Mania on the 3pointconversion.com. Also my work with A7BN Sports covering the Jacksonville Jaguars. Check out my post-game raps wherever, no, not music, like wrap-ups, wherever I might be on social media with the 3-Point Conversion and the Captain and Company morning show with oldschool101.com and A7BN Sports, my friend Captain Chris Hill. Honor, joy, and privilege, gentlemen, but until next time, class dismissed.
All right. Good to have you again this week, Kyle. We always appreciate your work here.
Now, you told me, Jim, earlier when I sent this to you that your rankings are close to mine again.
Yeah, they're not that far off. This is the week, and as I've been telling a friend of mine at work all week, I hate it. I don't like it, but I can't not put the Eagles at 1. I can't. They're undefeated. They're winning every game. They don't control the schedule. We talk about this in college. Nobody can control how things are and who's where. The Eagles don't get to pick their schedule. They don't get to set it up. They can only play what's in front of them, and they're doing it. And not only are they doing it, they're doing it convincingly. Okay, they're doing it more convincingly than anybody in football.
Right, they're doing their job.
So the Eagles are number 1. I have the Bills and Chiefs rounding out my top 3. I have the Ravens 4, Vikings 5. I wanted to punish the Vikings more, but when the Cowboys were off, like I had a hard time dropping the Vikings
beyond 6.
Beyond 6. I have the Bengals at 7. They jumped from my 10 spot last week. They looked really great. they look great against the Panthers. So Big Mike, I love you, but I gotta see more against not the arguably worst team in football. Until I buy into it a bit more. Again, there's a team that went to the Super Bowl, so I'm going to
real quick. I don't think you told the listeners the order on the audio. So
go ahead. Sorry,
I apologize. I apologize for that. But listen on the audio. 1 through 10. Number 1's the Eagles. 2's the Bills. 3 the Chiefs. 4 the 49ers. 5 the Ravens. 6 the Vikings. 7 the Cowboys. 8 the Bengals. 9 the Dolphins. 10 the Seahawks. Okay, right. Continue.
So I have Cowboys 6, Bengals 7. I have the Seahawks at 8. Again, they are a surprise team in the National Football League this year. They're sitting atop a division that, I mean, we were probably a little off on the projection, but is one of the better divisions in football. I have the Jets at 9, and I have the Dolphins still hanging in at 10.
Okay.
I don't. The 49ers were off.
So that's the big one. So basically, you have 9 of the 10. I have take up the Niners, enter the Jets.
Yeah, correct. Right. And again, I said last week, I think that the Niners, the quote unquote new look Niners, they impressed me last week. They still lost to the Chiefs the week prior. Again, it's the Chiefs, so I just need to see more. They definitely look like they're trending in the right direction. Assuming McCaffrey can stay healthy, he brings an element to that team they didn't have before. I just got to see more of it. That's all.
Right.
If they continue to put things together, especially this week against a good Chargers team, then you have my attention. They're probably going to crack in. They're just outside mine. But yeah, the biggest thing for me with yours is the 49ers as high as you know we've discussed for the recent weeks. We know your trust level with him there. Looking at a couple of the comments here, Scotty says, "Good evening. How long until Josh McDaniels is fired?" Stay tuned to that one. I'll have more on that in just
any day now.
I'll have more on that in just a second. Let's see. Mike's top 10. He has Eagles, Bills, Chiefs, Vikings, Ravens, Cowboys, Bengals, Niners, Jets, Dolphins. So similar there to what we all have. Scotty says Packers should be in the bottom 5. Yeah, I have the Packers.
Yeah,
I have them in my bottom 5, and they may even go further down into the bottom 5 next week with a loss.
Get you guys.
Wow, here's a bizarre stat. Thank you for this one, Scotty. Teams that face the Panthers are 0-8 the following week. So who played the Panthers this weekend?
Who plays this weekend?
They played. It was wasn't it a? Well, no, it was a blowout.
They played Cincy. They played Cincy.
Cincinnati, right? So we'll see if it holds. Mike, who does the Bengals play this week?
They're off this week.
Ooh.
No.
So will they lose next week, or is this how the streak gets broken?
They play the Seals next week in Pittsburgh.
Ooh, okay.
And that game was just flexed out of the primetime game.
Yep, they put in the
okay, that makes sense.
Chargers Chiefs game, I believe.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they flexed. They flexed in the Chargers and the Chiefs. All right, so that's going to round us out for the power rankings for the week, and we close up as we do every week.
You better lock it up. You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
We are looking at our guarantees for the upcoming weekend. Matt, let's start with you. What do you guarantee happens this upcoming weekend?
I'm going to rewrite the train I put in when I wasn't here to say this and say that another NFL head coach will be fired after this weekend.
All right. EJ? Oh, hold on.
Lock it up.
EJ?
I'm locking up there'll be 1 to 6 teams in the top 6, playoff 6 will lose this weekend.
Ooh.
Lock it up.
Interesting. Do you want to put out who you think it might be?
I'm trending on TCU. I hope they win though,
okay.
But I got a funny feeling about that game. I don't know why.
That's probably the most likely candidate.
Yeah. That's the one I'm looking at. Hope I'm wrong though, but
yeah, I kind of hope so too. For me, similar to Matt's, but I'm actually gonna put the target on it. And Scotty, this one is like I said, Jeff Saturday will get his first win as the interim head coach of the Indianapolis Colts, beating the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Raiders will fire Josh McDaniels.
Bingo. Like that.
On Monday. That is my lock it up for the weekend.
Lock it up.
Let's see here. Mike has Coastal Carolina gets to 9-1.
Lock it up.
As his lock it up. And I love this. If this is true, Scotty, Aaron Rodgers throws 3 interceptions against the Dallas Cowboys.
Lock it up.
Definitely give me all of that.
Against that defense, it's definitely possible.
Look, if Detroit can get 3, the Cowboys could get 5. if we're just being honest about it.
Sure.
Significantly a better defense. But that's where we're going to wrap it up for this week, gentlemen. Matt, plug away.
Yep, you can find me on Twitter. It's at 3CT, the letter A. Phillies in Philadelphia, the number 8, so 3CT affiliate. You can hear me on Thursdays and Tuesdays on the 3CT podcast, so make sure to tune into those. We have some fun holiday-themed episodes coming up here to break up in between Jim's Love Fest of all things WWE and the occasional time AEW does something bad enough that Jim wants to dunk on them for an hour leading into the show.
I mean, to be fair, he gave Tony Khan money. He went to the show last week, so I mean,
he did, yeah.
I'm padding his pocket.
I also gave Tony Khan money and didn't even get to attend.
That is true.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just let my ticket go. I was at the World Series game.
Oh, right.
So and yeah, tune into us, listen in, and give us a follow on social media.
All right, EJ, plug away.
Ernst Speaker Podcast across all podcast catchers. Also, if you love wrestling, check out the Take the Wrestling Podcast with myself, Mikey, Joe, and of course you, producer Jim. What else? I'm on Twitter, each7, and other than that, hope everybody voted today. We didn't, so
you didn't. It's probably too late unless you're in Hawaii.
True, very true.
Well, I guess on the West Coast. You still
California is still open till another hour.
You still got a little time. Well,
half an hour, I say. California
So if you're in California, get out.
Yeah, other than that, that's great shows. Those guys, I love doing it with you on Tuesday. So see you next week.
Yeah, definitely. You can follow me at Big Jim Sports. Make sure you are following along with the show at Huddle Up Podcast on Facebook and on Twitter and on TikTok as well. You can get our merchandise over at tpublic.com. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe on all podcast platforms as well. If you are subscribed on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, please give us a rating and review on those channels. And look, if you like the show, if you're enjoying what we're doing, please share it with somebody that you think might enjoy it as well. Encourage them to do the same. Help grow the show each and every week. To get all of the links, everything related to Huddle Up Podcast, hit the link tree on our Facebook and Twitter pages, and it'll get you everywhere you need to go. Until next week when we do all of this again, we hope you have a great week, and we hope you stay safe, stay smart, and as always, go for the win.